Imagine being beaten until you are unalived by your own husband, and your only offense is that you asked him to send the 35,000 naira that he was owing you just hours ago. This story is both sad and tragic, and this is the story of 29 years old Uloma Chizoba. Chizoba was a market trader who owned a shop at Relief Market, Imo State. On February 2nd, 2026, a customer reportedly purchased a goods worth 35,000 naira from her. And then when this customer tried to pay for this product using bank transfer, it didn't go through due to network issues. So this customer went ahead to ask her if she has another account that she can send this money to, and that was when she provided her husband's account details. Now, after this customer tried sending it to the husband account number, it went through, and then Uloma went ahead to call her husband to confirm if he had received the 35,000 naira, and the husband confirmed that he had received it. So later in the evening, when Uloma was calculating every transaction that she had for the day, she told her husband to send back the 35,000 naira that she had sent to him earlier on. And that was when it was believed that an argument followed. And a lot of people suspected that this argument and disagreement escalated into a violence, and that her husband allegedly beat her until she fell into consciousness and was sadly unalive. However, her husband, Prince Kelechi Okeke, is telling a different story. He claimed that his wife returned home and then they were eating together, and then suddenly she started complaining of chest pain, and that chest pain caused her unaliving. According to him, before he could get help, she was unalive. He said that immediately he noticed this, he ran outside to the neighbor to call for assistance. But when the neighbors arrived and found out that Chizoba was unalive, a lot of people doubted his story that she had simply collapsed. Neighbors and family suspected foul play and believed that she was unalive as a result of Prince Okeke beating her to unconsciousness. Chizoba's relative would come out and insist that this was not the first time she had suffered abuse in her marriage. And it was not just Chizoba's relatives that were saying things like this. Even Chizoba's neighbors confirmed that they've been repeated history of abuse and domestic violence. A lot of people even personally claim to have witnessed situations where Prince would allegedly assault his wife. One neighbor even stated that she had advised Chizoba to leave her husband because of the way he was treating her. But instead of Chizoba to heed to her advice, she simply just stopped talking to her. And we've seen situations like this played out in a lot of cases. How many times do we see women going through a lot in marriages, in relationships with their husbands or boyfriends, and then we advise them to leave that environment at least for that period of time, and then these women will now turn the people advising them to enemies, and in most cases distance themselves. And if you check the way these people who do not take the advice of leaving situations like this, if you check how they end, is usually not funny. There's always an exact pattern to how they end. Now, following the incident, Prince Kelechi Okeke, Chizoba's husband, was arrested and he's expected to face legal proceeding. Despite his arrest, he keeps on maintaining that he did not assault his wife, that she was eating and then suddenly she had chest pain and collapsed, and that before he could get help, she was unalive. This case raises a lot of concern, especially to women who are in situations like this. One thing with abuse is that it would not just cause you physical pain, it will also cause you emotional pain that would lead to a lot of issues, either at that moment or later on. And I honestly do not understand women who enjoy being in an abusive situation. Like, how do you feel being in a state where the person that you're with hates you so much that he is putting his hands on you and emotionally tormenting you? Now, in this case, authority would have to carefully examine the situation to know the exact cause of her death, and if there is any form of abuse, if there was any situation where maybe a previous abuse or a current abuse had caused her unaliving, then Prince will sadly have to pay for it. There's a big chance that it is the chest pain that caused her unaliving, but investigators will have to look at what caused that chest pain. Was it as a result of this guy abusing her consistently? Was that what caused the chest pain that caused her death? If that was the case, they should hold him responsible. Now, whether the husband is telling the truth or not, that's not the case. There's been history of an abuse, and that cannot be ignored in examining the exact cause of her unaliving. This case is starting to mirror the case of a very vibrant, popular singer named Osinachi. This is almost similar to how she had been unalived. A lot of people had told her to leave her marriage and she did not. And at the end, we all saw how it ended for her. Some of these men that are sadly putting their hands on their wives or women that are close to them are men that honestly do not like these women. They hate them so badly. These are men that maybe got married as a result of age. Maybe they are getting old and they don't have money to get the kind of women that they want, and then they just go for the one that is available. Or men that maybe just got married from pressure. So, because they are not enjoying the whole idea of being married, they tend to put their frustration on their partners. But no matter what the case may be, it does not justify you as a woman still being in a situation that does not favor you. Like, don't you value your life and sanity? Does having the title of being a wife and being married so important than your life? I just don't get how people just enjoy being in pains and suffering all through their life. Like, I just don't understand it. Women, like, how do you do all these things? A man is putting his hands on you, telling you words that is demoralizing you, emotionally destroying you, and you are there in that situation, enjoying it, so that they will clap for you and call you wife of the year. This is really sad.